In today's video, we are going to be going over some of the internet's most controversial questions, and I can assure you, you will be offended by this video. And you know what? Go argue your opinions in the comments. I'm in a mood to fight back. I'm in a fighting mood, so tell me what you guys think. So, first up, how do you pronounce GIF? Alright, that's how you pronounce it. It's not GIF. There's no J. It's GIF. GIF is like the peanut butter. Doesn't make sense. Alright, next up we have, what came first, the chicken or the egg? So this is generally considered like kind of a circular question. But if we're talking about biology, the egg came first. And that's because of evolution, over time, the ancestor to the chicken species, as they had more offspring, slowly over time they would evolve with new features. And one day, there was a chicken born from an egg who had, genetically, they were too different from a chicken, or a chicken's ancestor species to be considered that species, and that is what became a chicken. They were born from that egg. It's not possible for the chicken the species just to morph into a chicken while it's still alive. It would have to be born like that. So the egg came first. Next up, should a sandwich be cut diagonally or horizontally? Okay, this is kind of weird, but I think it depends on the sandwich. Grilled cheese, cut that diagonally. Just horizontal grilled cheese, it's not right. But if we're talking about like peanut butter and jam, cut that horizontally. It just doesn't feel right cutting that vertically. Another one is a ham and cheese sandwich. I think cut that horizontally as well. I don't know, that's how I always do it. Next up, is cereal a soup? And I get it. It kind of has a lot of qualifications of a soup. It's a bunch of like grain and fruits in milk, but it's not a soup in my opinion. Because soup generally is in broth or some kind of like water. It generally has meat, vegetables in it, and it's kind of a mixture of that which creates a soup. Cereal is really just two separate things. Milk and cereal. You're putting the cereal into the milk. So when the cereal itself is on its own, that would not be considered a soup. But the second you mix those two together, it's considered a soup. It doesn't really make sense to me. Like, for example, if I put a bunch of tomatoes in water, is that considered tomato soup? No. You have to mix it with tons of other ingredients, and that's what comes up with the soup. Soup is a lot more complicated than just mixing two things together. I don't think it's a lot more complicated than that. You can't just call cereal a soup. I hope that makes sense. Toilet paper, over or under? Frankly, it's got to be over. We're talking about when you have it on the rack. Do you have the toilet paper come around like facing the wall, like it kind of wraps around this way towards the wall, or when it wraps around over top? And I think it's over top, pulling it down. It's just closer to you. When it's under, you might, I don't know, touch the wall by accident. And I feel like in most bathrooms, you don't really want to do that. Over, it's just clean. It's right there. You can just grab it. I feel like it's more hygienic. I feel like it's easier to do. I think it should be over. Pepsi or Coke? Controversial opinion, I hate them both. I don't like soft drinks, so neither. Next up, is pineapple on pizza good? And I want to say 80% of people I've ever talked to actually quite like pineapple on pizza. I don't know where the stereotype of it being bad comes from. Pineapple on pizza is very good in small portions. I don't want too much pineapple. I think it's sweet, but it adds an interesting taste to the pizza. Frankly, I think a lot of things actually work on pizza, and you can kind of mess around with it. But pineapple, I think, is one of the staples that it kind of contrasts the rest of the taste of the pizza, but in a good way. It fits with the sauce. The sauce is kind of like, most part, is like a little bit bitter, and I think the pineapple kind of contrasts that a little bit, and it gives you a unique flavor. Personally, I really like pineapple on my pizza. Should dog wear pants over all four of their legs, over the back too? That's a good question, because pants are supposed to cover up your legs, right? And dogs have four legs. But also, if you think about it, our arms can also be used as legs. So we don't put pants over our arms, we put a shirt on. So in theory, a dog should wear it on their back legs and have a shirt. But I mean, either could work. I just think it looks too stupid having it over the four legs. But frankly, having human clothes on dogs doesn't make sense. So I feel like we should develop like their own kind of clothes. All right, we got another one. Are hot dogs a sandwich? And no, I don't think hot dogs are a sandwich. Sandwich generally has two pieces of bread, one on top of the other. It has meat, maybe it has lettuce, some cheese, and some sauces on one piece of bread. Hot dogs generally are one bread cut in half that are still connected, because frankly, you can't eat a hot dog that's two separate pieces of bread. It has a single hot dog in the middle, and then you can add some sauce on it. Maybe you can add some relish. but really the whole thing, the bread is just a way to cover up the sausage. Pizza is just like the bread just holds on the cheese and the the sauce. So if you added, let's say you had two like pieces of dough for pizza, you warm them both up, then you put sauce and cheese in the middle of the two, would that be a sandwich, or is that just putting two pieces of pizza together? Frankly, I don't call that a sandwich. I don't think it qualifies as a sandwich. I think hot dogs are far too bland to be considered a sandwich. Hot dogs themselves are just a hot dog put in bread. It's not really a sandwich. Anyway, those were the internet's most controversial questions, so I hope you enjoyed and maybe you agree with some of my takes. Frankly, I'm not that smart, so let's have an argument and I'll come up with my other dumb reasons that I disagree with you, but what do you think? Anyway, comment down below and peace out. Bye.